Okay guys, we're going to show you a very simple neutralisation today. Now we've done some work on this over the last few lessons because you've done some work on making your own indicator, you've done some work on universal indicator, and you've done some work on acids and bases. Now don't forget, an acid is something which contains what we call a hydrogen ion. An alkali or a base is something which will neutralise an acid. So the acid I've got today is hydrochloric acid. The alkali I've got today is sodium hydroxide. What I've done already is I've measured 10 centimetres cubed of acid, which I'm just going to transfer to that beaker, and I've measured 10 centimetres cubed of alkali, sodium hydroxide, which I will transfer to that beaker. Now when we do neutralisation, for those of you that I've taught before, it's a bit like a seesaw. We can have acid, we can have alkali, but if I've got alkali, I need to add acid to make it neutral. So we're levelling a seesaw, making them equally strong, or not strong at all. So we always put the alkali into a flask. Now, I can't tell that's an alkali by looking at it, so what I will do is I'll put universal indicator in, which you should remember the colour it goes. Shout out now before it goes in. I'll give you 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. And I'm sure you're all correct, it went bluey purple. Give it a shake to mix it properly. Now, I want to know how much hydrochloric acid will neutralise 10 centimetres cubed of sodium hydroxide. So I've started with 10 here, which I've measured in the measuring cylinder. I am going to add it, to start with, 3 or 4 drops at a time, and give it a little shake and look for a colour change. No real colour change. I'm going to add a little bit more. No overall colour change. Now in theory, if I started with 10 of this strength, I should have to add 10 of the same strength to neutralise it, to balance the seesaw. And this will just help to show us whether they are of equal strength. So there's nothing happening at the moment. I'm going to take another squirt. And if you look when the acid is added to the alkali, look where the drop lands, you might see it start to change colour a little bit. See a little bit of red there, but then as it mixes, we've still got more alkali, so it's still blue. Take another reasonable squirt. Give it a mix, it's still blue. Another reasonable squirt. Now if you look now, the drops, the colour's staying a little bit longer, so I need to start slowing down. But the best thing to do is to mix the two at the same time. Now it's very difficult for 2 people to do this because you never know which way someone's hand is, but as one person you might be able to add drops and swirl the chemical at the same time. And we are looking for neutral. Okay, now you guys, I'll give you 3 seconds to remember what colour neutral is. 3, 2, 1. Hopefully you've all said green. So I'm going to add more acid until, hopefully, my liquid stays green in colour. I think it's starting to neutralise itself a bit more. Now, obviously it's more fun for you to do this than it is for me to watch it. However, unfortunately under the conditions we've got, I'm not allowed to let you do that. Now if you look now, it's getting a little bit of a paler purple, so I'm only adding 1 or 2 drops at a time. Now, I've run out of my original 10, so we know it's used at least 10. That's my 10 gone completely. Still a little bit blue, so what I'm going to do I've got to take some more acid. This time I'm going to take 5. So I know I will have started with 15. I'm going to transfer that to my beaker. I'm going to add it again, a drop at a time now. 1 drop. I think 1 or 2 drops more. 1 drop. I think that's looking pretty green and pretty neutral to me. So, I know I started with 15 of acid. Okay, if I now pour my acid back into my measuring cylinder, my remaining acid, you can see that there is 4 centimetres cubed in the measuring cylinder. I started with 15, so if I subtract 4 from 15, it tells me exactly how much I've used to neutralise the acid. So, the alkali. 15 subtract 4 is 11. It has taken me 11 centimetres cubed of hydrochloric acid to neutralise 10 centimetres cubed of sodium hydroxide, and we know it's neutral now because my final solution is green, which is pH 7 or neutral on the pH scale.